Hello and welcome. As an expert in hotel AI and operations, it's my pleasure to welcome all the students of Europe Hotel School to your online learning journey. In this explainer, we are going to dive into a truly critical topic, the future of hotel safety. This is essential for anyone building a career in hospitality, so let's jump right in. I want to start with a really important question. Think about the hotels you know. Is the safety net that's in place truly secure? You know, the fire alarms, the emergency lighting, all the sprinkler systems. We just assume they're going to work when we need them. But what if that assumption is actually pretty dangerous? So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at a huge flaw in how safety is usually handled. Then, we'll explore a much smarter, predictive approach. We'll get into the cool technology that makes it all possible. And then talk about how it's a total game changer for the business side of things. And finally, we'll discuss what this all means for you as a future leader in this industry. All right, so let's dig into the biggest risk that many hotels are running right now. It's all about a certain mindset, one that's super common, but honestly, it's fundamentally flawed. We call it the compliance-only mindset. Here's how it works. All the life safety systems, the fire extinguishers, the sprinklers, they get inspected once a year. The inspector comes, signs off, you check the box, and everyone thinks, great, we're safe. But that creates this dangerous belief that everything will work perfectly for the next 364 days. It's a false sense of security, and frankly, it's a massive gamble. See, the problem with that annual checkup is that it's completely reactive. It's just a snapshot, a single moment in time. You know things were okay on that one particular day, but for the rest of the year, you're basically just crossing your fingers. Now, predictive monitoring, that flips the whole script. It is proactive, it is continuous, and it makes sure your safety net is actually working every single minute of every single day. And this right here, this is the bottom line. This quote says it all, doesn't it? A fire extinguisher that loses pressure the day after an inspection is just a useless red can on the wall for the next year. Being compliant doesn't mean you're actually protected. A safety device has to work at the exact moment you need it most, not just on the day somebody came to check it. Okay, so if that old model is so broken, what's the answer? Well, this is where we need to embrace a new standard for our industry, what we call predictive safety. This really is the new standard we champion. It's a completely different way of thinking. We're moving away from just checking a box to be compliant and moving towards being truly, genuinely prepared. We call it predictive health monitoring. So what does that actually mean? Well, think of it as a super proactive strategy. It uses data and sensors and artificial intelligence to keep a constant eye on every single one of your safety assets. And here's the magic ingredient. It doesn't just ping you when something breaks. It actually predicts failures before they even happen. Now, I know this might sound a little like science fiction, but this technology is very real, and it's already out there working. So let's pull back the curtain and see exactly how it's done. The engine driving all of this is an AI platform that creates something called a digital twin. It's a really cool concept. In simple terms, it builds a complete living virtual replica of your entire property and every system inside of it. Here's how the process breaks down. First, you create that digital twin. Then, every single safety asset you have, everything, from a tiny sprinkler valve to a big exit sign, is mapped and tracked inside that virtual model. From there, the AI starts analyzing data from sensors and service records to predict when a part is getting close to failing. And that triggers an alert, telling your team exactly what needs fixing, where it is, and when it needs to be done. And here's a perfect example of what one of those alerts looks like. It's not some vague warning light, it is specific, actionable intelligence. Your maintenance team is no longer running around putting out fires, literally. Instead, they get a message that tells them exactly where a future problem is brewing. That means they can go and swap out that battery on a regular Tuesday afternoon, long before it ever becomes a real risk to anyone. But here's what's really important to understand. This isn't just about making things safer. It's also about making the business smarter. There's a powerful financial and legal case for adopting this kind of technology. Because at the end of the day, this is the goal. We're not aiming for a safety net that's kind of working or one that was verified once last year. The goal is a system that is 100% operational all the time. That is what true peace of mind looks like for you, your staff, and your guests. And the return on investment? It's crystal clear. Just look at the cost of an emergency repair. You've got weekend call-out fees, specialized contractors. It's huge. That cost is massive compared to planned precision maintenance. By catching these small issues before they become catastrophic failures, you save a ton of money. And beyond just saving money on repairs, you get an incredible boost to your liability defense. Let's say something does happen. With this system, you have a detailed, time-stamped digital log that proves every single safety device was working perfectly right up to that moment. That data is your ironclad defense against devastating negligence claims, and it protects the owner's investment. So let's bring this all together. What does this really mean for the future of the hospitality industry? And maybe more importantly, what does it mean for your future careers? The big idea to take away from all this is simple. The future of hotel safety is about shifting from passive hope to active knowledge. It's about getting away from a state of hoping you're safe to a state of knowing you are. As you all step into your careers and become the next generation of hotel leaders, the responsibility to push for these new standards is going to fall on your shoulders. So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. How will you be the one to champion this change and build a safer, smarter future for our industry? Thank you for your time.